The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
What? Oh, there you are. Are we live? Hello, everybody out there listening to our radio. Thanks for tuning in our show. All aboard. I'm Whisman. I'm sitting here with Dave, and I've got a couple of special guests here tonight. I've got Jim Bell and Paul Daniels. They have their own show. Well, hang on a second now, Paul. Anyway, let's start this over again. Welcome to All Aboard. My name's Don Whisman. I've got Dave Coots here tonight, as usual. That's my other host. He's just a host. He's not a co-host. I've got the original, the one and only Dave Coots. I've got Jimmy Bell, Paul Daniels. They have their own show on radio. It's called Pot Talk, politically offensive talk, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. And also, Jimmy, he is the producer of Armed Radio. So, everybody, Dave, you say hello, then Jimmy and Paul, you guys can say hello to everybody.
Let's all kiss Jimmy's ass.
Hey, everybody.
I deserve it. Well, Jimmy does a lot of hard work. I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. Let's hope Trump gets that. I did as much as Obama did.
Oh, you did more.
You probably did more. But anyway, you guys, as always, I want to send my prayers to all the men and women serving in our military, and I want us to give a big thank you to all of our country's veterans. Thank you for a job well done, guys. And tonight, one of our friends that listens to our show regularly, Henry, I'm not going to give you his last name, but Henry, he listens to our show. He's a good guy. He's in the hospital. He's been in the hospital, I guess, for a couple days. They're doing extensive testing on his stomach. Henry, all I can say, brother, is get well soon, man.
Yep. Yeah, break a leg. Henry.
Break a leg, Henry. Yeah, we hope you get better, Henry.
Well, you guys, Trump declared a major disaster in Hawaii. I guess Mount Kilauea has been spewing out molten lava and toxic fumes and causing all kinds of earthquakes. So we'll send our prayers. Sneezing, for sure. Sneezing, yeah. We'll send our prayers out to the people. I don't know which island Mount Kilauea is actually on. I think there's like 7 islands down there, ain't there? It's Hilo. Well, yeah. It's the big island.
Yeah, it's the big island, yeah.
Well, Trump declared a major disaster down there, so let's hope them people get some help. You guys, I'll tell you, it'd scare me to death, all that lava coming at me. I think that'd be worse than they're saying it's blocking the roads for like 200 residents.
Do you know what, Donald? You would be slower than the lava flowing at you.
Probably would. I probably would be, but and usually, guys, I'll tell you guys this, like I always do. We do have a Facebook group. It's called Trump 2020 ! If you like Trump and you support President Trump, please join our group, Trump 2020. But don't forget that exclamation point. That's what sets us aside. And yes, we will be taking calls tonight. In about a half hour from now, people can call in if you want to. If you got something to say, I'll give you the number right now. It's 1-800-508-5431. Like I said, wait about a half hour. And you guys, every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been doing this thing called This Day in History. Today is May the 15th. So this day in history, back in 1776, the Virginia Convention instructs its delegation to propose a resolution of independence from Great Britain, paving the way for the Declaration of Independence. You guys, I mean, that's big news there back in that day.
I think that's amazing.
Do you know what else happened on this day in history? What?
George Wallace was shot 5 times, 4 times. The guy shot 5 shots into him, but he only hit him 4 times.
Was he a Republican or a Democrat, Jimmy? You remember?
He ran as a Democrat.
Right, he was a Democrat.
When he won, wasn't he against like the segregation and all that stuff?
He was for segregation, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah,
and he was a Democrat.
Another Democrat telling us how horrible
And
we
I'm
are.
sure they're telling in history that he was a Republican.
Yeah, I'm sure they are now.
That's the indoctrination way.
I was too young, but I remember the name. I just knew he was like really racist, wasn't he?
Yeah, like I said, he wanted segregation.
He was a very racist man.
Well,
back in those days, as most of the Democrats were.
Well,
they all were.
They did want equal rights.
Well, didn't the Democrats aren't they the ones that actually started the KKK back in the old days?
Right, they did.
Yes, and the NRA was invented to get guns to
the blacks
people,
so that they could save themselves.
So they could fight back.
Right, defend themselves.
Later on in the show, I've got some news about the NRA too. But you guys, right now, I've got a couple patriotic quotes before we get this show ready. So go on. Just two. These aren't from Trump. These are just a couple patriotic quotes. They're real short ones. The first one says, "The cement of this union is the heart blood of every American." I just like that, you guys. I like that one. And the second one says, "True patriotism hates injustice in its own land more than anywhere else." I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but I mean...
No, it absolutely does.
I don't get it.
Because if you're living in a country where you live under the illusion that everything's okay, that justice...
Like utopia.
Yeah. And then you see people getting screwed by the system that you actually care about.
So I'll read it again one more time, just see if we get that. True patriotism hates injustice in its own land more than anywhere else.
I could see that.
It meant a little something to me, you guys. But anyway, we'll get this show kicked off here. First thing I want to talk about tonight is last week was the primaries here in Ohio, and all of our candidates that me and Dave picked, they won, except for one. It was Mary Taylor. She was running to be the Republican nominee for governor right here in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Now look, you guys, what we're left to vote for in the midterm elections here in November. We got Republican, or should I say Rhino, Mike DeWine, or Democrat candidate Richard Cordray. You guys, here's how I see it. We have a choice now. We got a choice, and this is a bad choice. We got a choice between two piles of crap. Now, how do we choose this, you guys? What pile has the best or the least amount of flies? What pile has the most corn in it? Or do we just get down there and snip that pile of crap and see which pile smells the least? You guys, I'm telling you, I'm mad over this. A lot of people tells me that they go out and vote for the lesser of two evils. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, right here on ARM Radio tonight, and we said it last week, if Mary Taylor lost the nomination, that Dave Coots would be running for governor. So Dave Coots, as candidate for governor of Ohio, what do you got to say tonight, Dave, to the people out there, the working people?
Donald, that's who we have to energize. We have to energize the everyday working man and woman in Ohio. We have to bridge that gap between the rich and the poor. You know, we have to make an Ohio for everybody.
Yes, everybody. And Dave, how are we going to do this, Dave? I know, Dave, it's a long shot. I know it's a long shot, Dave. But I think, we're going to try to get them to social media. Dave, I know you work hard, you make good money, but you're not a rich man. You are in debt, brother.
Oh, yeah. I was born dirt floor poor. You know, when I was growing up, I grew up in eastern Appalachia, Kentucky. I didn't have running water sometimes, and we had an outhouse. I know what it's like to be poor.
Well, Jimmy, Paul, what do you guys think about Dave running for governor of Ohio?
I think it's great. I wish I lived there.
Anything would be better than Kasich.
Yeah.
Kasich's gone.
Piece of shit. I know.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is Mike DeWine is a Kasich clone.
Yes, he will be the next one.
And honestly, I think he'll be worse than Kasich. At least Kasich, throughout his term, had some policies that actually lean to the right. And Mike DeWine, I mean, F rating with the NRA, voting 962 times in line with Obama and Hillary, trying to, legalize illegals 3 times. As an Ohio Attorney General, he gave illegals driver's license.
Yeah, that's not conservative, Dave.
Right. Yeah, you can't call that guy a Republican. He's not a conservative.
It's a Democrat running as a Republican.
Puts an R in front of his.
You know what I mean? The Democrats set this up. They're trying to rig the system.
You're right, Jimmy. At least the Mike DeWine's candidate, Cordray, at least he is a Democrat. At least he's telling you the truth. He's a Democrat.
Yes.
Right.
That's why here in Ohio, you guys, for the gubernatorial race in 2018, November the 6th, we have 2 piles of crap to choose from. Dave is going to be a write-in candidate, and we got to get the people out here, the working man, to get out here and vote, and we've got to somehow get these people energized. And we're going to try our best from now between November the 6th to get them out to vote. Write down Dave Coots on that ballot, and we will be making commercials, and Dave will be saying, I'm Dave Coots, and I approve this message. And this ain't no joke. But anyway,
no, it's no joke. I mean, those guys have millions of dollars, but I mean, we're just doing it to prove a point, guys. And there's always a better choice. We're tired of picking the lesser of 2 evils, and Ohio deserves better than that. The working class people, we deserve better than that. These people have been wealthy the majority of their lives. They don't know what it's like to put in a hard day's work. Mike DeWine was talking about how he's poised to go into the governor's office from day one and work hard. Well, I can promise you, his idea of a hard day's work and my idea of a hard day's work are totally different.
Yeah, 2 totally different things.
Well, since we've got Jimmy and Paul on here, I'll tell everybody tonight. They're from the state of New Hampshire, which you guys can probably tell by their accent. We love their accent. Me and Dave, we've all became pretty good friends on here. We haven't met each other. Me and Dave has not met Jimmy or Paul, but they live in New Hampshire.
Physically.
I'm just going to let everybody know that the state that Jimmy and Paul lives in, their primaries is coming up on September the 11th of this year, and all 24 of their Senate seats are up for election in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And your guys' senators, your state senators, only get the 2-year term. Here in Ohio, it's a 4-year term, so a little bit of difference there in state senators. But you guys, I didn't realize this, and me and Dave was talking about the other day, the population difference between your state, New Hampshire, and Ohio. And I thought you guys would have a bigger population, but New Hampshire, you guys, I've got it right here. It says New Hampshire, the population is 1.343 million people. I thought there'd be more people than that.
Yeah.
In Ohio, we have 11.66 million. So I'm like,
you got a ton of cities. You got Akron. You got fucking Columbus. You got Cincinnati. Yeah.
Well, I just thought there would be a bigger population. How many electoral college votes is in New Hampshire on the?
2.
Just 2?
I thought it was 4.
Yeah.
We've got 18 here in Ohio. I do believe it's 18.
And Mass was like 8 or 5.
Well, you can Google it.
Yeah, we could. I think we looked it up once before, but
we did. Now we're boring the people.
Well, yeah, but anyway,
remember.
Yeah, we can't remember. That's okay. We'll Google it later on another show. But did you guys get a chance to listen to Donald Trump's speech in Indiana last week? I mean,
yes.
a couple of things he said, you guys, just made me feel so proud to be an American. And I'll tell you a couple of things he said. And you guys respond to this. He said in one of his statements, he said, America is being respected again. I love that, man.
Yeah. We're not the patsy no more.
Yes.
No, because the Obama administration, their philosophy was to lead from behind.
Yeah, abuse and then, you know what I mean, knock us and then apologize.
All fucking
credibility.
Thank you.
That's a good word. I love that word. We did, and I believe we are being respected again as a nation. And also something he said, you guys, that really got me going. He started talking about these fake news and how he was going to start wars and stuff. But he said, what gets you into nuclear war or any war is weakness. Trump is rebuilding our military, you guys.
Right. It is
peace through strength.
Through strength, yes.
Peace through strength. Yes. It goes back to the Ronald Reagan era. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
We know that works because during the Reagan era, he was dealing with Soviet Union, who at the time was just as powerful as us.
Yeah, with all their they had just as many people as we did, I think.
Yeah,
a big military, just as many nukes. But the thing that was Reagan had, peace through strength. He built our army, he united our allies, and he put pressure on them.
Yeah, I remember that, Jimmy, that Star Wars program. But how do we know that actually did it get built or not? We won't never know, will we?
No, we don't.
It was never meant to be built.
But we set up satellites, good enough for TVs and communication.
It was meant to show them that we would fight.
Kind of like the race to the moon, right, guys? Kind of like the race to the moon.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I mean, there's conspiracy theorists out there saying that we didn't actually make it to the moon. I don't know what to do.
We made
it.
I would say we did too.
We've been there.
It goes back to leaders, though. If you look at Reagan and you look at Trump, and then you compare them to what Obama did, Obama would draw a line in the sand, and somebody would cross it, then he would back up, and he'd draw another line, and they would cross it, and they would back. So we lost all credibility as a military country. We lost credibility as a country that always was in the lead because they knew that he wasn't a leader.
You're right.
And nobody trusted us.
Right? You can't go around apologizing for America. But anyway, you guys, I had some breaking news here tonight. I was going to tell you guys that President Trump was going to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on June the 12th in Singapore. Now it's saying that there's North Korea is canceling the meeting with South Korea, and they're threatening to cancel the U.S. meeting with Trump. What is going on with Kim Jong-un?
That's because of we were going to do some military exercises.
Yes, and he got pissed off on that. The guy's giving up his nukes. We could give up some military exercises. Yes. I think that's a good gesture. You know what I mean?
Make a nice gesture.
I know. Why stop the momentum now?
You're right.
Well, and I think it might be just saber rattling from Kim Jong-un, too.
Exactly.
It could be. It's a good excuse.
Exactly. Here's the thing, though. The pressure that we put on him was the reason that he's in this position now. It's the reason that he wants to come to the table. So, I mean, I don't know if the military exercises was a good thing right now or not, but I don't think that we can let that pressure up. Let's just keep doing what we're doing because that's what worked. That's what got him to the table. So let's keep it up.
Keep the sanctions up, but don't be putting your thumb in your nose and going, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys realize that North Korea, they were willing to open up airspace, and they were going to invite media to cover the dismantlement of their nuclear test sites.
Exactly.
I hope they still do, guys. I just hope they still do that.
China
but I mean, the thing is, though, if it was something like that easily swayed them to say, okay, we're not doing none of this now, were they really going to do it to begin with, or were they just putting on a show?
That's to be found out.
Do you know what? It would be horrible for them if they did that.
Well, you guys,
China wouldn't take it.
No. But anyway, you guys, we'll move along. You guys had to hear about this. The Muslims over there, the Palestinians, they were lighting fires and protesting as the U.S. Embassy in Israel, as the U.S. and Israel opened up the new embassy yesterday in Jerusalem. Did you guys see that at all? The
capital of Jerusalem. I mean,
Israel is Jerusalem.
Yes, I said it yesterday in a video. Yes, I said it. The capital of Israel is Jerusalem. I'll say it again because for some reason the Palestinians just don't want to believe that. They're mad. They want their capital to be Jerusalem. And I'll tell you guys what I said yesterday in a video. As long as there is a United States standing, there will always be an Israel. And Dave come back and said, hey, listen, I heard you guys say this the other night on your show too. Israel is a bad country. I mean, they can whoop some butt, you guys.
Oh, God,
absolutely.
They
They're not
are
pushovers.
fucking hardcore. Yeah.
I mean, those guys, those men and women over there, they've lived with violence growing up their whole life, so they know how to fight. Everybody over there serves in the military. They're bad people. I mean, they're not pushovers by no means.
Yeah. If you fuck with the Jews, you will lose.
Yeah, that's you're a poet and don't know it, but a lot of people in this country, believe it or not, they're anti-Zionists. We've got a lot of anti-Zionists in this country, you guys.
Well, do you know what it is? It's because everyone wants to be politically correct.
I mean,
well, not only that, but I think the movement, the millennial movement has went more left, and it's become more socialist.
No, not more left. It's went absolutely left.
Yeah, they're nothing more than socialists now. So that's why they're so that's why they're Zionists basically, because they're almost the Nazi party all over again.
Well, they've already been fucked a million times.
Not only Hitler did he try to devastate the Jewish people, but look at back in the Crusades. I mean,
exactly.
They've been decimated by a lot of people.
Do you know what? If you've been screwed over like 5 or 6 times, like really bad, you learn to say fuck you.
Well, I'm telling you guys, and I know everyone already has heard about Iran shooting rockets in the occupied positions in Golan Heights, and then Israel retaliated on some Iranian military installations in Syria, you guys. But I really believe Israel had every right to do so. I stand with Israel, you guys.
Right, they got the right to defend themselves.
Yep.
And the thing is, I don't think Iran anticipated the response they got. Iran might have
they always underestimate it.
Well, that's because they're not treating Iran like the Hamas. They let the Hamas get away with it because they're supposedly trying to negotiate.
But when it's a nation.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They're not negotiating with Iran.
Nah.
Well, we all know that President Trump pulled out of this Iran nuclear deal. Last Wednesday, Trump warned Iran that there would be severe consequences if they revived their nuclear weapons program. And he said, Iran will find out. They're going to find out. So, you guys, I don't think Trump's going to be playing cat and mouse games.
I don't think so either.
He makes it absolutely awful.
And our military's got a big get back at them when they took our guys from Iran, made fools of them, then let them go.
Yeah, on the boat under the Obama administration.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look at what happened during the Carter administration, and they released them hostages when Reagan was taking oath of office.
Jimmy Carter was a fucking horrible president.
Well, you guys, I forgot to tell you that also Trump said, I'll tell you how good of a man this president is. He stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, and he greeted those 3 guys that were let loose from Korea that had been over as hostages all these years. Trump stayed up and greeted those guys at 2 a.m. in the morning. I think, Trump is to this country what Elvis Presley was to rock and roll to me, you guys.
Well, that's because he's a real leader, and that's what real leaders do.
33 minutes.
And that's Jimmy. That's Jimmy and him talking. I guess Jimmy does a lot of stuff with the radio station. He's doing other shows.
Guys, I gotta head home.
Do you, Paul?
Yeah, I gotta get some sleep. I gotta get up early in the morning, brother.
All right, well, Paul, thanks for coming on our show, brother. I guess I'll talk to you Friday, brother.
Love yous.
Love you too, brother. Jimmy, you're sticking around, right?
But I do hate Billy Bob. So.
All right, we'll talk about that Friday. Bye, Paul.
All right, peace out, brothers.
Well, you guys, Jimmy, Dave, I just want to tell you guys, to me, Trump has brought the spirit of patriotism back to this country. Man, he really has, you guys.
Well, he's give this country a pulse again. He's give it a heart. He's made it okay to stand up and say that you love God, that you love your country, that you love your flag. we lost that the last 8 years under the previous administration. We had lost that had went by the wayside. Trump has made it to where it's okay to stand up and say, I'm a patriot, I love my country, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Exactly. How do you feel about that, Jimmy? I mean, do you feel that Trump has brought back patriotism, the spirit of patriotism?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when he started with the no kneeling in football. That just brought it out.
Well, I couldn't say it at the time, back at the time, but that's when he told them guys, he said, get those sons of bitches off the field, right? You remember that?
And they should have.
Yeah, you're daggone right they should have. And I'm sure Dave agrees with that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, if they wanted to protest, they could have protested on their own time. I got sick of hearing it was about their constitutional rights. Their constitutional rights are protected when they're not on the clock. If I'm working and I choose to take a knee and not work, and I bring negative publicity to my company, is it my employer's right to fire me? Sure it is. So the owners of the NFL are the ones that cause their loss of revenue last year, and it's going to continue into this year too, I'm sure.
I hope not, though, Dave. It's worth it, the NFL, and I want to give a big shout out to my grandson Madison out there, you guys. He broke his arm the other day, and I forgot about it at the beginning, so I wanted to give a big shout out. Or Mason, I'm sorry, my grandson Mason. My grandson starts with an M, but he broke his arm. A poor little fella. I just feel sorry for him. But Dave, you and Jimmy, I guess you've heard by now that Oliver North's going to be the new NRA president. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Well, do you know that he is accusing these gun activists of committing civil terrorism already? I mean, he said it's worse than the days of Jim Crow. Have you guys ever heard about Jim Crow?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think was he a real guy, or was it just some laws about segregation?
The thing though, I mean, if you look at what North brings to the table, Donald, he's a leader. I mean, he's got experience and he's hardcore.
I know he was all caught up in that Iran-Contra affair stuff, you guys, but you're right. I think he's going to be the best president since, what was his name, Charlton Heston? And one of these days, I would like to see Ted Nugent be the president of the NRA. I'm telling you the truth, man.
I tell you what, I like Ted Nugent, but he's definitely out there. He says what he thinks, and he don't care if you like it or not. So I think he would eventually be a good president of the NRA too.
Well, who does that sound like, though, Dave? It kind of sounds like you, though, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It does, don't it?
Yes, it does.
I am who I am. You don't like me, you don't like me.
The original Dave, don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't know. What do you think about Oliver North, Jimmy, becoming the new NRA president?
I thought it was an excellent choice.
Me too, brother. Amen. And you guys, last week, me and Dave, Jimmy, I don't know if you listened to the show or not, but we talked about John McCain not wanting Donald Trump at his funeral. Now he's been urging his Senate colleagues to vote against Gina Haspel. She's Trump's nominee to be the new director of the CIA.
Right.
But I just learned here the last couple hours that this guy named Mark Warner, he's the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee. He announced in a statement today that he will support Gina Haspel to lead.
There was three Democrats that said that today.
Was there three of them? So basically, she's got the votes to be confirmed, you guys.
Yeah, she does.
Dave, you want to say anything on that?
We don't need John McCain. He thinks he's the pivotal vote or something. We're making him useless.
Yeah,
absolutely impotent.
I would even want to be concerned about how his mental capabilities are right now because of his illness.
He should have resigned when he found out. This is just stupid having him hang on and not vote. Vote for something when he has no idea what he's voting on.
Well, Lindsey Graham came out and said that John McCain's going to be around for a long time. So I agree with you.
He ain't going to be around
go ahead and
for a long
retire.
time. It's just Lindsey.
No, that's a devastating disease, and like I said, I wonder what his mental capabilities are right now.
Exactly. He's got to be going shithouse.
I agree with that, you guys. I mean, just like these Supreme Court justices that get nominated and they're in there for life. I think it's Ruth Ginsburg. I mean, like John McCain, why don't he just step down? He's dying, for Christ's sake. Be with his family. He's done all he could do. I mean, he was a songbird when he was a POW.
He hates Trump that much, you know what I mean, to stick in and try to screw it to him. And he's enough for anything. He got reelected because of Trump.
There you go, brother. Amen.
Not only that, but I think it's because he's jealous. I mean, because he wanted to be president and he couldn't get the job done than Trump did.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, it goes back to these career politicians. If you look how long McCain's been in office, he should never be able to serve that long as a United States senator.
Absolutely.
We need term limits.
How did he make all that money just being a senator? You know what I mean? It's bullshit. It's all
exactly.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
And I've said it for a long time. You know, those career politicians, when they put their sport coat on, they might as well have the names stitched on the people of the special interest groups and the companies that have put money in their pockets and bought them off.
Right, I agree, Dave. And
he could get 2 shits for his constituents.
Just step down. He just needs to step down and go away. Just like Obama and Hillary still out here running their mouth. Just go away. Disappear. We're tired of it.
Stick around. Keep talking. It's Donald, good for us.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Donald. This is going to throw you off your script here a little bit, but... Okay, my question to you is, since you brought up Hillary and Obama and them, what do you think about John Kerry running around violating the Logan Act?
You know, Dave, I don't know that much about that issue, but when it comes to John Kerry, that man was a disgrace. I know he served in Vietnam, but he threw his draft card or something. I don't know what it was when he got home. He's a Democrat. I just don't like John Kerry. I don't like his wife. I know she owns Heinz Ketchup, but Dave, I don't even know what about that story. I haven't. What is that about?
Well, the Logan Act basically says that he can't act in an official capacity for the United States with another foreign country, and that's what he's been doing as of lately.
Well, hasn't Obama been doing that too, going around to these foreign countries, running his mouth?
Well, I mean, you know, having your opinion and saying something is different. You know, Kerry has been very vocal about this Iran deal and stuff because, you know, he helped get the Iran deal through. So I think he kind of took it as a slap in the face, and that's why he's been working so hard to try to save it. But I think he's violating the Logan Act. I think he needs to be locked up.
I know Vladimir Putin and a couple other countries, they're not really happy with Trump pulling out of this Iran nuclear deal, you guys. I mean, I don't know why they're not happy, but Trump said they would have a nuclear weapon within so long.
Well, they're not happy about it because we're going to ratchet sanctions up on them, and they wanted to be able to start trade with them. Once we ratchet these sanctions up again, they're not going to be able to do that. So that's why China, that's why Russia, that's why those guys in the European Union, that's why they were upset, because they were looking at Iran as a cash cow to start trade and stuff back, to establish trade with them. Once these sanctions go back into effect, they're not going to be able to do that.
Well, that's why you would make a better governor than me, Dave. And I forgot to say something at the beginning, too. I wanted to send my congratulations out to Scott Lips. He did win the primaries here for the 62nd District in Ohio. So he gets to move on. Good luck in November, Scott Lips. And I wanted to also congratulate Jim Renacci. He won the primaries. He's moving on to go ahead and battle against Sherrod Brown, which we know we got to get rid of Sherrod Brown. And Jimmy, I know you live in New Hampshire, but we've got one Democratic U.S. Senator here named Sherrod Brown, and he is no good. He's no good. We got to get rid of him.
No, he's almost as bad as DeWine.
Have you ever heard of Sherrod Brown, Jimmy?
No, I haven't.
Well, he's a U.S. senator, and there's only 2 senators from each state. And
Right.
anyway, the other day, you guys, I was talking about this. I know I'm going back again to this U.S. Moving their embassy to Jerusalem. But this isn't a new thing, you guys. This started back in 1995 with Bill Clinton.
No, it started 70 years ago yesterday.
No, wait a minute, though. But, I mean, they
declared themselves a nation, that's when we said that we were going to put it in Jerusalem.
Well, you remember
in 95 is when Congress passed it.
And every president since Clinton, Jimmy, every 6 months they've had to sign a waiver to put it off. And Trump did sign the waiver once, but he did sign it the second time. He didn't sign it the second time. That's why it got moved to Jerusalem. Finally. Oh, you're right. It was the 70th anniversary. I think it was 1948. That UK and United States, maybe some other allied nations, gave that country back to the Jewish people.
Right. Well, they did.
Yeah, and they deserve it. I mean, it was their land, and the Palestinians, come on, just get over it and try to get along with them, man.
Well, Donald, they've been fighting over there for thousands and thousands and thousands.
But it was right after World War II. They needed a place to go. All the refugees they gathered, all the countries they were going to were all poor. Hitler made sure of that.
Sure. And I mean, where else was we going to put them? I mean, that was their homeland. I mean, I haven't read the whole Bible, you guys, but I think that's the only country that the Lord is supposed to give any race of people was Jerusalem, Israel, you guys.
Well, so that's also the place for Muhammad.
They've all got ties around the whole land.
Yes, and the Muslims, and the Christians, and the Jews.
What about the Catholics? Do they get any ties?
Yeah, they do. That's where Jesus went.
Dave, anything you want to say about
on the mount?
Now, you guys was talking earlier. I think Dave, you and Timmy both was talking about the walls around this. What is that?
Around the Vatican.
Around
the Vatican.
Now, what was he saying about Trump's wall?
Well, you got the Pope saying that Trump shouldn't build walls. We shouldn't have a border wall, but he lives behind a 40-foot wall that he's protected from every day. And I think what he needs to do is he needs to remember why that wall was originally built.
Yeah, to keep people out. I mean, we need that wall. But you guys, I'm going to move on to the next topic here. Last Tuesday, Dave, I was telling you on our show that if these companies in the United States would stop hiring all these illegal immigrants, that might stop a lot of these people from coming to America. But Dave, today I was reading a report, may have been yesterday, that said that ICE is on track to launch more than twice as many as investigations this year into whether U.S. companies are hiring workers legally or if they're just taking on immigrants. We don't have that don't have work authorization. So, Dave, what I said is it came true. They're actually going to start getting on to these companies that are hiring illegal immigrants. That's why they're coming over here, Dave. That and for free food stamps.
That's one way of getting rid of them, deporting them by themselves. They're just going to leave if they can't get jobs. You know what I mean? They'll go back to their country.
Absolutely, and right now, we have illegal crossings are lower than they've been in a long time. But the thing that's different with the Trump administration versus the Obama administration is you have somebody in the Trump administration who wants to, go by our laws. They want to support our laws. They want to support legal immigration, whereas the Obama administration never done anything to support legal, immigration. They were just looking at it like, come on over, hey, come on, we don't care. You're eventually another vote for us.
Well, Dave, I've got a Facebook friend. Her name's Carol. I think she's friends with you too. I think it was Carol, and she said that I know Pennsylvania, they had their primaries today, and a few other states did today. But she said that her polling station was in a Muslim mosque. I mean, come on, Dave. They shouldn't put polling stations in those Muslim mosques, Dave. Americans don't want to go in them places, man.
Well, I mean, it goes back to freedom for everybody. I mean, I can understand that. If it made her uncomfortable, because a lot of those places, they look at women different. So I really, I'm kind of torn between that. I don't think it's probably the best place, because maybe, it made her feel uncomfortable.
But you're a constitutionalist, though, Dave. I know you're a big constitutionalist. I mean, I know that. I am too.
I am a constitutionalist. I think everybody has the rights. I mean, our country was founded on freedom of religion. I mean, granted, the Muslim religion, the Islam wasn't as prevalent as it is today, and it wasn't a threat back then like it is now. But, we talked about it earlier today, Donald. If you radicalize any religion, it becomes dangerous.
Would you agree with that, Jimmy, about religion being radicalized? It's dangerous?
Yeah, like he said, that's when we were radicalized during the Crusades, to go get them. You know what I mean? We went to them. They didn't come to us. They did afterwards.
Well, you're right, Jimmy. Well, Jimmy, you're a little bit older. You remember a lot more of that stuff than I do. I know it happened way back in the
I don't remember yesterday.
Well, you remember a lot of political stuff when you was growing up, though, Jimmy. I know you.
Yeah, did. I paid attention. I did. I always liked the news, current events.
Well, I wish a lot of other people did. I mean, because I'm telling you guys, voter turnout was horrible in Ohio primaries last week. And you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, just in 2 counties, Jimmy. Now, this is Ohio. I know you really don't care a whole lot about Ohio. But if this is anything going to be like it is in November, we're in trouble. The county that Dave lives in, Butler County, Ohio, you guys realize that voter turnout was at 15.08%. That's the lowest your county, Dave, has been in 28 years. Butler County, Ohio,
and that was pitiful. And it goes back to what I've said for a long time. We have got to get these people energized. We've got to get them out to vote. Right now, I don't understand it. If we don't do this, we are going
what would
to
take care of this is if you gave them an extra $100 discount on the taxes at the end of the years if you voted. You know what I mean? You just get an automatic $100.
God, Jimmy, why can't people just be patriotic and go vote?
Yeah, because it doesn't work that. They're so busy making a living and playing with their toys.
I would agree with that. But what do you think, Dave, about incentive?
It's sad. I mean, it would probably get more people to come out, but I mean, if you look at what our founding fathers done when they started this country, it's sad. Good men and women died for our freedoms, and to see a 15% voter turnout in my county, it's heartbreaking.
Well, that's because it's midterms. This is usually the lowest point.
It is. You're right, Jimmy. But the thing is that people need to realize. I mean, yes, it was a midterm and it was a primary. Still, if we don't get these people energized, we're going to have that blue wave in November.
I don't want a blue wave. I want a big red lava wave like we're getting.
Well, the media said it was a big blue wave. Now they're changing their mind. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose so that GOP won't vote.
And that's what I was That's what I was thinking. If people see it enough, where they say, "Oh, there's no chance of a blue wave," then they're going to say,
right. Well, they're going to say, "Well, I don't have to vote."
I don't have to vote. Here's the thing, guys: get out, vote, get involved in your community. Your vote makes a difference. You make a difference. If you do that, you will make your community, you will make your state, and you will make your country a better place.
Thank you for that. And really, like Dave said, a lot of men died. And I'll say women too. They gave their lives for us to get out and vote. So this is an honor to them. It don't take much to go vote. I mean, it just, even an absentee ballot, which I don't like those, but they've got it set up wherever, if you work first, second, or third shift, Dave, you can stop in there and vote anytime, or you can even vote early. There is no excuse not to vote.
Right, they made it accessible to everybody.
Yes, they did, Jimmy, and it just makes me so freaking mad that people doesn't get out here and use that God-given right that our founding fathers gave to them to get out of here and vote.
Yeah,
that's
they just piss it away.
Me mad. I'm sorry to get mad there, but I can't.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what can you say. You know, if you're so uninvolved in your community,
I couldn't wait when I turned 18. I couldn't wait to vote.
Me either, brother. What about you, Dave?
Well, the thing is, if they're so uninvolved in their communities, okay, when stuff starts going the way that they don't like it, they're the ones that want to open their mouth and cry wolf the loudest.
Yes, I don't want to hear your freaking opinion if you don't vote, Dave or Jimmy. I don't want to hear their opinion.
Exactly.
No, to me, you know, if you didn't vote, you shouldn't have an opinion on the issue. You had a chance. You had a chance to help.
And those are the people that don't like to talk politics, because that's what it comes down to. Do you vote? You know what I mean? And of course they didn't. That's why they don't like to talk politics.
Well, I think, to me, I know this sounds stupid, and I'm being stupid, but, you know, if it was up to me, you guys, if you didn't go out here and vote, you'd be branded on your forehead, non-voter, just so people could look at you and say, what a disgrace you are to this nation. Non-voter.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you don't vote, then don't complain about the issues. Don't complain about if they take your guns away. Don't complain about if they take your free speech away. Don't complain about your higher taxes. Don't complain about, you know, your local school board. If you don't go out and vote, you shouldn't have a voice about it. You don't have an opinion.
Agreed. I agree with
that.
Right,
your opinion is greed. You're self-centered, and that's it.
You're right, Jimmy, and I know we only got about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to start speeding the rest of these topics up, you guys, okay? You guys all know Caitlyn Jenner, the former Bruce Jenner, he said that President Trump has set the transgender community back in the U.S. 20 years. Unbelievable, you guys. He said this over at the House of Commons over in UK. What in the heck? Does Caitlyn Jenner out here, I thought he supported Trump, or he or she or whatever he is.
Well, here's the thing. He's going off of what, you know, the military with the no transgender thing and all that. That is a touchy subject with people. I mean, you know, to each their own. It's not our place to judge, but
I'm not judging, but he just shouldn't. Trump, he's attacking Trump, and I thought he was a Republican, Dave.
Well, I mean, you know, he could be a Republican and not agree with what the president's done, but at the same time, you know, has he went all the way and transformed into a woman? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I've said it before, you know.
No, he hasn't.
If you want to know what your gender is, just open up your pants and look down. It's not hard. It's not complicated.
All right, we'll go to the next topic here. This is something that's kind of weird a little bit, but I agree with it and I don't agree with it. The state of California is about ready to mandate all new homes being built to have solar panels on the roofs. Now listen, you guys, I'm all for solar panels. I'm all for the environment, but the word I don't like there is mandate. I don't like that word, mandate.
Nope, that's big government getting involved.
No, but I'll tell you what, it's just another cost of building a house. That's all it's going to be. Like adding a garage,
right?
It's just extra money.
Well,
cost you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it though, Jimmy. But
it should be an option. It shouldn't be mandatory.
Exactly. We're already an over-criminalized society and over-mandated society as it is. You know, if you look at things, we're getting out of control with stuff. We really are. You know, we have to use common sense with these things.
Well, you guys,
that's what Democrats don't believe in.
Yeah, they want a utopian society. That's what we've been saying, and I believe that. And remember last week, Dave, I told you that Trump was ending these special protections from all these immigrants. Well, there is this immigrant rights group that said Wednesday they sued to stop the Trump administration from canceling these special protections. That's just freaking great. That's just great. That's all we need.
Well, and what that just burns me up, because what they do is, they're more worried about those immigrants, and that's fine. I mean, we're a nation of immigrants, and that's okay. But let's take care of the people here first.
And I do agree with that statement. We are a nation of immigrants. Jimmy,
I've been saying that since the 70s, is we should be taking care of our own.
Take care
instead
of
of doing, we were given a Bangladesh. All these people that could give two shits about us.
You're right. They're just here for our jobs and our free welfare system.
Pretty much.
We give money to countries that burn our flag.
Exactly.
You're right. And Dave, Jimmy, there's also this immigrant rights advocacy group in California. They're offering to pay the $495 renewal fee for these eligible DACA recipients. This crap has got to stop, man.
Yeah, I know.
Well, DACA needs to go bye-bye. It's like we've said on this show before. If your parents snuck you into Disney World and you get caught and they kick you out, who do you blame? Do you blame Disney World, or do you blame your mom and dad for sneaking you in Disney World to begin with?
You blame your mom and dad. And you guys, I want to tell you right now that I just found out this week that food stamp enrollment in this country has dropped by more than 1.3 million in just 2 months. 1.3 million.
Well, they're threatening to make them work.
So
just the thought of it makes them. Well, I think we can give it up now.
Well, not only that, but a lot of people are going back to work. Our economy's booming. I mean,
you're not for anything, but if you can find work, you don't need the food stamps. So I don't know with them making you work. It's I don't get it.
Sometimes I don't get a lot of things, Jimmy, but we got 5
No,
minutes.
but you're already working a full-time job for a lot of these people that are doing it for $14,000 a year. Those are the ones that deserve food stamps. I just don't get it where they won't give them food stamps. If they want to make them work another 20 hours on top of the 40?
Well,
you know what I mean? For $200 a month? It makes no sense.
It don't. There's a lot of things that don't make sense in this country, but I think with time, with this president and this administration, these things will be worked out, Jimmy. And I want you guys, something I want to tell you guys, that President Trump signed an executive order to promote the hiring of military spouses throughout the federal government. Now, not only is he trying to help our nation's veterans, now he's trying to help the servicemen's wives and mothers, you guys. Right. I think that's wonderful.
Like I said, he comes up with solutions. That's not what Obama did.
He's a man of action, brother.
Well, he's a businessman. And how many people have said that for years? This country needs to be run like a business.
Right, because they got solutions.
Exactly. They attack a problem. They see a problem, they attack it, they fix it, they move on to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. That's something Obama lacked. That's what made him incompetent.
Well, that's the difference between a billionaire businessman and a community organizer.
Yeah, pretty much. What a difference.
I love this. I'm glad you came on tonight's show, Jimmy. I mean, I like to hear you and Coots go back and forth, but here's another thing I want to talk about. We still got 3 minutes left. Maybe I can get this in. I'm sure you guys have always talked, and all your life you've heard about the American dream, right? The American dream. Now, I came across this great article, and I just want to read it real quick before the end of this show. The American dream is the ideal that the government should protect each person's opportunity to pursue their own ideal of happiness. The Declaration of Independence protects this American dream. It uses the familiar quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." And that's the way I feel about Israel. The same way, you guys.
And the key word is inalienable, as in you ain't got the right
Exactly.
And I almost couldn't say that word. It's a hard word for me to pronounce, inalienable, but I said it. So, but that means a lot to me, you guys. The American dream.
Well, you know, I kind of it means something to people that dream every day. I've always said, you know, with the American dream, you spend half your life chasing it, and your other half trying to pay for it.
Well, you guys, you know what? I made it to my last topic, and it's a good thing. We even had Jimmy and Paul in here, but I've got another 2 minutes, so I'll go ahead and read this last topic. Then I'm gonna let you and Jimmy, Dave. I'll let
Basically,
you and Jimmy.
you got a minute.
All right. Well, anyway, but our rights, you guys know that our rights are under attack right now. So many people out there are working to undermine our God-given rights right now. I think Abraham Lincoln seen this happening back when he was alive. That's probably why he said, if our country ever fails, it will be from within, you guys. I think he's seen it.
No, he did. He knew that. He knew we were, you know, a great nation, and if that's what was going to take us down was ourselves.
Jimmy, you want to say anything on that real quick?
No, we got about 20 seconds, and that's what we got for music.
All right. Well, do you think Dave should go ahead and end it now, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and end it, Dave.
All right, guys. We want to end it like we start the show. We will send our prayers out to all the troops, all the men and women. If you're serving abroad or if you're serving at home, we want to thank you. You know, God bless you guys. We love you. Henry, you know, we want to send a shout out to Henry. We hope you get to feeling better, brother.
Chris Fitzwater, thanks for listening too, brother. Everybody out there listening, thank you. God bless each and every one of you.